Here's some more info on the origin of Christmas.
So I like this time of Christmas, but there are some things that as a Christian that I cannot go along with in Christmas time. And so I don't want this to be offensive. I'm trying to preach this in a way where I'm not trying to hurt you, but I do want to warn you before I get started. There are some things that I'm going to say today that will probably shock you, because you're about to see that modern Christianity has departed so far away from Jesus Christ that they're now, during this season, worshiping Lucifer. I hate to say it, but there's no other way to say it. So let me start with the origin of Christmas. Where does this term Christmas actually come from? Christmas is actually Christ Mass. All they did was drop the last S. And so we say it different. Christmas. Isn't that strange? Christmas? If you really want to call it what it is, it's Christ Mass. Why isn't it called Christmas? Why do they change the name Christ and pronounce it differently? Well, we're going to see that it ties in to a guy named Kris Kringle. It ties into somebody who is not even Jesus Christ. He's somebody else. So Christmas has its origin, believe it or not, from Catholicism, because it's the Catholics that do the Mass. Now, Christians throughout the ages have known this, and true Christians have been very against Christmas. Many Christians forgot that this was a Catholic holiday, and that as Protestants and as Puritans, they were against the Catholics. Then they just said, we'll just start accepting some of the things that they do and bring it into our homes. And they did. Was that good or was that bad? Well, you'll have to, at the end of this sermon, decide for yourself. In the Old Testament, it gives a list of all the different Levitical priests. And it says they came in their course to serve in the temple. And you can actually go back to that Old Testament and read when their course, or which one of the tribes had to, or which one of the sons of the certain people of the tribe of Leviticus, Levitical priesthood, had to come before. They'd serve 2 weeks in the temple. Every year they'd get 2 weeks and then another 2 weeks. And you can actually read in the Gospels who it was that was the father of John the Baptist who came. And you can literally read what time of the year he came. And well, you take John the Baptist, he was about 6 months before Jesus was born. So you can figure it out. And you know what you find out as you figure out in the Scriptures? That the birth of Jesus Christ was not in December. It was anywhere between September 21st and the 24th. Some people say it was on the 23rd. So the birth of Jesus Christ was not December 25th. How did December 25th become connected with Christmas? Why is Christmas on December 25th? Well, we're about to find out. This date, December 25th, was a date that one of the popes put and said, let's celebrate Christmas on that day rather than this day. So the day of Christmas is the day in which we're supposed to celebrate the birth of Jesus. It's not even the day he was born. Romans 14:6 says, he that regardeth the day regardeth it unto the Lord, and he that regardeth not the day to the Lord he doth not regard it. So there, if you want to regard a day to the Lord, go right ahead. So I'm not telling you don't celebrate Christmas. If you want to remember the birth of Christ, help yourself. What I'm trying to show you is that there are other things that are connected with this day, which are pagan in origin. And they have tried to force those pagan customs to us, Christians, to accept when they were about these people and not about our Savior, Jesus Christ. What did the Roman Church fix on December the 25th as Christmas Day? How then did they fix December 25th? Why thus, long before the 4th century and long before the Christian era itself, a festival was celebrated among the heathen at that precise time of the year in honor of the birth of the son of the Babylonian queen of heaven. And it may fairly be presumed that in order to conciliate the heathen and to swell the number of the nominal adherents of Christianity, the same festival was adopted by the Roman Church, giving it only the name of Christ. So that more pagans would join this state church, they said, well, no, let's just change the name of Nimrod and Tammuz to Jesus Christ. And change Semiramis to Mary. And then all the pagans says, oh, okay, well, that's the state religion, and we don't have to change our religion. We still celebrate on December 25th, so we'll just join them and call ourselves Christians. And that's what the pagans, the heathen, did. Christians adopted these pagan festivals and just changed the name to Christian names, but they celebrated them on the same exact dates that the pagans celebrated their pagan festivals. Christmas was originally a pagan festival is beyond all doubt. The time of the year that the ceremonies with which it is still celebrated prove its origin. In Egypt, the son of Isis, the Egyptian title for the Queen of Heaven, so Semiramis is Isis, it says, was born at this very time, about the time of the winter solstice. Well, that's what December 25th is. It's around the time of the winter solstice. Christmas was around December 25th because that was what the pagans called their time of Saturnalia, the worship of Tammuz. Nimrod was also called Saturn. So the festival of Saturnalia was a festival in December 25th, in which the pagans celebrated the birth of the sun god Tammuz. So they took a pagan festival celebrating a birth of a pagan god, and these Catholics said, oh, well, let's just say that that's when Jesus was born, and just celebrate Jesus instead. And all these pagans said, okay, we can become Christians if you let us keep our same feast on our same day. So who were these so-called Christians worshiping? Were they worshiping Jesus Christ, or were they worshiping these guys? They were worshiping them.